Hello folks, and welcome back to the second and final best of three of the evening. It is of course Isurus Gaming versus Falkol, and it's certainly set to be an interesting matchup. It's another one of those qualifier matchups which on paper looks to be a lot more one-sided than it may actually be, and really that's what has me thinking about this game. I mean, the odds even reflect it. So definitely curious to see sort of actually how things pan out in the first map, of course, which is Overpass. Now, I was trying to bring the odds up on your screen, but it looks like I can't do that, which is rather unfortunate. But what I can tell you is that the odds right now are sort of roughly 1.05 to 8.13, heavily in favour, of course, of Isurus. So definitely sort of living up to that bleak outlook that I was just referring to. With that said, the knife round was wrapped up just while we were in our short commercial break there. Now it's time for us to start this pistol. It's going to be an early aggressive play on towards short. We're going to expect to see some contact from the Glocks here as they lead the charge. Maybe a double kill, maybe not. There's your answer. Lato with 2. As the push continues, the USP on reversive will find just another, and that is going to shut down this B-side play, leaving just 2 players now on the T side to try and claw this one back. They've got a USP of their own, so they'll be looking for those headshots. Well, so far so good. However, they're not committed, and that's what puts a question mark now on the outcome of this round, as they've dove up through connector, coming out on top, and they'll be running straight up on towards that A site. But even just a second there that they spent stuttering buys enough time for the CTs to rotate, not quite into position, but at least play towards dumpster. Headshot battle will be taken, and well, there you have it. Comes out 1 for 1. All on my own versus Delbany, and well, that's a crispy shot straight through the side of the truck, and it's going to be a Falkol pistol. A little bit more passive play now, coming out from the T side as well. No need to risk anything just yet. Slow and steady. Still being the approach here. Falkol just going to be moving up now. Hit a bit through long on the inside of toilets as well. Just going to be looking for their picks here, seeing what they can do. Be equalised. Double peeking towards long may well not be the answer, giving heat to 3 kills effectively. Even thought about walking into their frag rate there, which just kind of makes it a little bit worse. Just pistols now, of course, left in play. No real option for them to pick up the weaponry either. It just goes from bad to worse. Mac 10 going to clear out the site. I imagine might even make some money. As there you have it. The 2-0 takes shape. Falkol starting very well on the T side so far. You've got to give it some. Yes, it's just a pistol and such, but it's a solid start. Let's see where they can build from this, as we will be waiting for our first major buy round. In the interim, though, round 3, it is going to be just these pistols. We're going to have to see what effectively 5 USPs we'll be able to achieve. I appreciate the patience on this T-side as well. You know, more often than not, we see so many mistakes from teams, especially this early on into a qualifier, where they just get too aggressive against these pistols. Nice to see them really just dial it back a notch, take it easy, see how things will unfold. So far, so good though, Lato. Finding the first entry off, which is going to be 2, maybe even a 3rd and 4th as well as he walks out on towards the B site. All nice and clean, not taking a single loss. A lot of damage done, but for the most part, it is all wrapped up nice and comfortably. But this is the big one. This is the one we all want to see now. It's the full buy AWP in the palms of Noxie. We've got the Augs out as well, Aug galore in fact. Will we even see a single M4 in play? The answer is no. It's all going to be on the Augs. I've seen a quick exclamation mark Matt's in the chat. I don't think there is a command that will answer that for you, so instead I will be the bot that covers the questions. The veto is as follows. Overpass map 1, Mirage map 2, and Inferno map number 3. Already, very similar signs of previous rounds here. Falkol just clearing the way through Fountain, starting to move their way through. Well, will hopefully be the inner side of toilets as well. They will have to clear up the tip of ramp, but for the most part, should be fairly easy for them when we look at the map and see that it's a very passive play from Isurus. Really not fighting too deep on A. A little bit of presence towards A long, but nothing too crazy. What's going to be critical for them is that these toilet duels work in their favour. Good bit of damage done. 18 HP on reversive. So far so good as well. Over towards toilets. We'll see Yuto taken down with ease. Just not aware of the fact that there was any presence there at all. 35 seconds left. You have to start getting a little bit worried that maybe Falkol don't hold all the pieces here that they thought they did. All the information is just not quite there. 25 seconds now, and they've still yet to make a move towards any site at all. Gonna line up the smokes towards the A site, but I think you've run it too late, boys. It's 15 seconds remaining now. You basically don't have the time to plant. It's gonna be an all or nothing rampant push. They lose one immediately, and from there, they back away. They realise they have just left it too damn long. We'll have to save. Take the 2 AKs and the Khalil into round 5, because you've given Isurus their first, whether they like it or not. Curious now to see whether there'll be a nice change of pace, to be honest, of the T side. I think the slow style works, but there does come a time when you're just a little too rigid and you're not actually just making a play. And they start things off somewhat similar though. They get a lot of early chip damage. That's something that we'll try and cash in later throughout the round, just doing about 15 HP to Mayer and, well, not a huge amount, but 6 HP elsewhere, but damage is damage. As I said, it's something they want to really just try and add up throughout the round and hopefully secure a couple of picks while they're at it. Come through. Lato looking for an opportunity towards upper, but he's completely smoked off. There is a gap in the smoke though. That will lead to first blood on the site itself. However, they've not dealt with anyone barrels, they've not dealt with anyone water. Only then will they finally strike, but the nades are raining down. It's an absolute bloodbath on B. They'll maybe finally be able to bag a plant, but well, Mayon's got the elevation on them, jumps up on the boxes, forces the duel, and that leads us here. A 2-on-1 scenario where his position is completely known. In the end, the result is as we expect. Isurus may take themselves the second back-to-back buy round now, as they move up 2-3. already. Solid early pick, though. That makes a change. Latto able to put in the work with the AWP there. Great nade on towards Delby near that. Put him down to 66 HP. Spotted deep in towards short. Just going for the sandbags jump, seeing what information they can pick up nice and early. Little worried, though, that Reversive might be getting a little too aggressive. Latto finding Max as well. Things just kind of go from bad to worse. You're in a 4v2, or 5v2 even. You've barely seen 30 seconds. Fortunately for Isurus, kind of has its mistakes now. 5 USPs is the cause of it. Really just crushes their money. A lot for the A-long rush. Kind of a classic play. And that does mean it's going to be a pretty swift end for them. 5-2 here as the scoreline rather begins to grow for Falkol. Well, with that said, a lot of their success was coming from early on rounds, including the pistol and so on as well. We did see quite a comfortable buy, or two in fact, from Isurus, so holding my breath, I think this still is going to be quite a close one. We'll really just have to see whether Isurus actually have that consistency. Now they're back in the money again, back on the buy. Rather interestingly, we'll actually see 2 M4s now come out to play, rather than the 4 orcs we saw previous. And again, as well, it's worth noting that Falkol are able to find so much early damage through the short span, putting Noxie down to 58 HP. Really quite incredible just how repetitive they've been able to get away with it. Of course, smoke will go out, but Delbany knows exactly where he is, smoke or no smoke. He's got his crystal ball, and the man sees through all. Didn't quite spot that coming, though. Nkuto with a quick trade as he about to open the short door. And then the B site likely going to be the target now. Latto looking to use his trusty AWP to open up an opportunity towards the tunnels area. See if he can maybe work up through a monster. Fortunately, though, just holding fairly tight here. They will trade away at the push that comes through as well. Latto starts to head forward, but I think Isurus are in a pretty good position. They should know what's coming. It should be fairly obvious. 3 players getting a monster could get a little dicey for them, but again, the position they've got is definitely going to help them out here. Providing their players hit their shots, has to be said. Oh, that's quite nice, man. Straight through the smoke. Picking up not only one, but the second kill as well. Leaving just Latto with that orb. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again because he's making so much noise. But he's incredible. What was that? That was a beautiful shot. Practically a 90-degree flick to the right-hand side. He will shut him down, but man is there to clean it all up and get the quad kill. Bagging Isurus their 3rd round as well. I wish we had a replay, as I'd love to see that shot from Latto's perspective. It was nasty. Just a full 90-degree flick to the right there. Dead on target. Forcing the 1v1, but yeah, Mayon has been delivering. That's a quad kill for him. Puts him up 10-6 here. Very little opening performance for him as they look to equalise things 5-5. But of course, the 2-round gap still holds strong for now. Will be Isurus looking to kind of go into this one with another buy. But the reason why I accentuate that so much is that they've got a UMP in play. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a problem for them, I think. Considering that Falkol, they've got everything again. They've just completely reinvested. For AK, AWP and so on, all of the trimmings. That UMP could prove to be quite difficult to put to use here. Connector push begins to take hold here. That's where the MP9 starts to surprise us. I'll give it that. $40 though. It's kind of almost a repetitive situation for Falkol here, where they leave it too long, they try and make the play, and then it's all over. Looks like long will be the target, so it literally is us reliving what I believe was round 6. Max will come in from behind, he spots one, takes him down. Now will spot towards long as well. The reason he's doing that is he just wants to get a sense of exactly what's coming. Has he forced them to rush around, try and cancel? Well, he knows the answer. Max has got it covered for him. He's just a class act with the AWP, pulls out a double kill in thin air to secure the round. Deny Isurus from saving as well, as they will bag themselves their 4th. Now just a 1 round difference, as they will look to equalise. And Falkol are finally on the ropes here. Their money isn't just infinitely refilling itself, they are having to spend. Yes, they've got a little bit of loss bonus helping them out, but even then, it's only going to do so much for them. And as they start to run out of money, we're going to see their weaponry suffer as well. And this time around, it will be just a 4 rifles, the CZ in play on Lato. And the next round, it's going to be even more bleaker. Quite nice, actually. Fairly significant change of pace for Falkol. They're just pushing and prodding towards B short in the first sort of 30-40 seconds instead of really allowing the round to wind out to the bitter end. Great double kill going to line up as well thanks to Heat, albeit it's a trade, but it puts them in a 4-on-2. As long as they don't let Max run riot on the site, then this should be a sure thing. Really got to put all the credit there on towards Heat. Good positioning means he can trade when the short push comes through. Able to punish it means that he's able to secure, effectively, Falkol their 6th round single-handedly. I appreciate the rest of his team pulled in some trades elsewhere, but that double kill really changed the round. But what was nice to see, and kind of going back to my initial point, it was nice to see some actual quicker play from Falkol, where they are willing to take those earlier duels on towards B. Grinding the round out so late because they're trying to work their way back from a 4v5 or something of the sort really just hasn't been working for them. It's actually kind of hilarious, so sort of the quick scopes we sort of see with the SSG. Locks into a player with the crosshair, starts firing, then midway through just unleashing the magazine. Drops in a cheeky scope while you're at it. It is very much, reminds me of the Call of Duty days. Seconds. Isurus once again with the aggression now. Gutso once more there to capitalise on it. We'll see the quick trade come through as Max slips in from behind with the CZ, and a huge molly will deny any sort of B play so far. They have to throw the smoke, which should give away what is to come. Delbony will get the kill, but can they trade it? The nade would be huge. Is he going to get the frag? 6 HP. Only does 3 HP, but it lands at the feet of Delbony. That is uncomfortable. Max will still get the double, leaving Mayon and Delbony face up. With that 3 HP, it's going to suck. It's got to land that first shot. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Mayon just flicks to the left. Will catch him. And that's where the round ends up. 5-6. Still staying neck and neck. Another round. Boiling down to a 1-on-1. Interesting to see a technical pause actually get called. Of course, we'll actually see the difference of if it's a tech or attack based on the message we get on our screen, folks. If you see 1 or 4, or any sort of marker that says they've got 30 seconds remaining and it has been a pause via the cooler tactical timer option in the game, then that's when we know it's attack. If they use exclamation mark pause, like you see on your screen right now, just match paused, And obviously we know it is of a technical nature. So hopefully they get that wrapped up fairly soon. I'm curious if any of the folks in the chat could answer for us. Is there a Portuguese stream for this matchup? Or are we the core stream? I'm not actually too sure. I know there was a Portuguese stream for the last match I casted, but I'm not sure if there is a community stream or something else. I know Goals usually streams these sort of games. But I'm generally curious. Of course, for those of you who have just joined us for this best of 3, we do try to take a bit of a casual vibe in these series. We're not going to be bringing the full hype per se. Instead, it's a bit more of an interactive approach. I like to talk to chat, that sort of thing, answer any questions, and just take it a bit more sort of chilled out. So if you do have any questions, feel free to pop them in. I'll be happy to get through them. Obviously, just a friendly reminder, I don't speak Portuguese, so if you could put them in English, that would be a huge help if you do want to have a chat. That said, this has been a pretty clean and quick round, isn't it? Just spraying them down towards B, 4 quick kills. Reverse of having the time of his life. It's going to leave Guto all on his Larry with a Macton in hand. Just sat outside B thinking, what the hell have I done here? Kind of a British way of putting it. I appreciate that. The accent kind of coming through there, but nonetheless, really not much Guto can do. He's just a dude with a Mac 10 sat outside B tunnels against 5 players. Ah, so Google's is streaming the match and there's a Russian stream. Interesting. Appreciate the update there. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I was looking at HLTV. I didn't see him listed. That was the reason why I asked. Typically, he's super on it with commentating these sort of matches. Mozzarella dropping the big knowledge there. Yeah, I know we've got a bit of variation. We've got some Spanish folk in. We've got some Portuguese folk. We had some guys with German earlier on in the last game as well. So it's a nice mixture of different nationalities, which is always good fun. It's the beauty of CS. It brings together the whole world. So many different countries are in play. I'm trying to remember the name of the Spanish streamer that usually does this sort of stuff. I believe it's like Peruvian or something like that. Not very good with names. I'm going to try and see if I can pull it up on my phone. I'll tell you what, right, let's do a simple poll though. This is like the quickest and easiest way I feel like I can figure this out. If you're Spanish, put a 3 in chat. And if you're Portuguese, put a 2 in chat. And we'll get a sense of kind of what's going on in the chat department. While I wait for that to come through, because obviously 60-second delay, really helpful here. We'll keep a focus on the game, of course. 7-6 is the scoreline. Waiting patiently to see how this one will unfold. It is going to be a bit of aggression from Max and Toilets that works out so well for them, to be honest. Noxie with the Famus picking up just another frag inside Toilets as well is going to really just set Isurus up in a great position to secure that half win. Lato trying to force it back, but he's got a lot to do here. Unfortunately, his teammates sort of stuck on a bit of an island. And Presence coming up towards the top of Connector makes life even more difficult. 2 players indeed making their push, and well, they'll catch him just like that. That's a headshot on a half, catching him as he went for the jump over the bomb box. Problem is, he's got to go back and actually get the bomb. It might have been a nice frag, but I'm not too sure if there's going to be much more to it. There we go. Oh, we're seeing a lot of 3s in chat now, which answers my question at least. It's definitely, we've also got some 4 and 1s out there as well, so appreciate those of you who want to be a little different. Sorry, guys, say he was. I have to try and like scroll up now and see if that was actually. Yeah, Venezuelan. I've just completely butchered the pronunciation of that, haven't I? I gotta try and pronounce your name. Nihuchin? N-E-H-U-C-I-N. I don't know how to pronounce your name, buddy, but yeah, you're bang on. I'm curious to see, like, the Spanish-speaking people in chat, the Portuguese-speaking people in chat. Like, it's always nice. Got some Argentinians, yeah, it's Brazilians as well. So a nice little different mixture of languages. I do believe we've got a couple of people from Mexico as well, so that's always good fun. And again, I really like the diversity that we get, especially in these sort of matches. It's really nice. It's a real solid thing about Counter-Strike, one of the reasons why I love it. It is a best of 3, Greenclow. Oh, he's getting a big kill there. That will equalise things. Not for long, though. His teammate will fall over on towards B, and that kind of leaves them stuck once more. So they go up through Con, try and wrap in towards A, or they push out on towards B. The smoke's going to fade, but that'll just be a simple right click, right? You're just going to basically get blocked off again, so I think that will prompt them to play towards A. Now you have got Noxy here with the AWP, but Noxy's actually done something I think that actually works out worse for him, which is allow them to close down the distance. But they have 15 minutes remaining, so as long as he throws a good nade, I'll throw it towards long, that's unfortunate. He can just sort of play passive and see what happens. 8 seconds remaining now. Smoke to be thrown, I imagine bomb to be planted within it. Yeah, I'm just going to try and play for the 3v1 as the bomb goes down. Not going to get that. So instead now, have to look for the 3-on-2. Going to boost over, immediately look for that opportunity. The smoke going to make life kind of nice for them. BLD up on the bomb box, trying to get an advantage of his own. Will get caught out by that boost. Might wrap things up fairly quickly, and it will be a half victory for Isurus. 9-6. Are you the one who called 1962 Numeritos, or am I wrong? I don't believe that was me. I've just been calling him 1962 to keep it easy. I love you, Jay. I mean, my name's not Jay, but don't worry, we all love Jay. Elcaster, I wonder if I can... I gotta Google Translate that, just because I'm legitimately curious now, without trying to butcher language at the same time. Caster, bored of casting 2 tier 7 teams that will never step on a major. See, that's where you're wrong, actually. I've actually travelled to Brazil and cast at a LAN event before. It's a really fun region for CS. Likewise, you know, I've casted Isurus a fair couple of times. It's my first time actually casting Falkol as a lineup. However, I do recognise one of the names. BLD. Now, I'm not sure if that's the right name of pronouncing it, but I do recognise his name. So there is that at least. But it's a really good region, actually, to commentate, I'd say, you know, overall. I have worked with a couple of the wonderful guys who are behind the Isurus lineup, one of their old coaches and so on. And it's a really talented, good group of people. So they're a huge boon, I'd say, to the Argentinian CS scene, and likewise Falkol to Brazil as well. That said, the pistol kicks off. It's going to be 2 quick cracks for the CT side as they just tap them down, dismissing them as they do try and head on towards their B site. Keeping it fairly locked up. Reversive will come in from behind, but kind of doesn't add too much to the round just yet. It's only going to be a kill. What will change things is the fact that he's so deep in CT that they have to rotate through connector instead to not risk losing anyone else and guarantee the 4-on-2. Which means that we see a bomb plant, which is kind of mad when you think about it, given that it's a 2-on-4. Now, Maxu's going to get in towards toilets, and not a single player has come for him. That's absolutely crazy. If he gets a kill here, then they're going to be so disappointed with how this has gone. They'll secure the 1-on-1, Delbany will tap them down, so the round will be cleaned up. But the fact that he even got that far is pretty impressive for Isurus, actually. Say Numeritos. I've said it. I'm not sure what it means, but I said it. This could be one of those things that I've now just made a huge mistake, but we'll go with it. Please ban, why? I guess would be a good question. Why do I need to ban that person? We can ban them, but like, why? Bind W. I mean, I'm definitely not going to do that. 1962, yeah, you call them numbers. Yeah. Yeah, I get the trolling, but like, I mean, it's unfortunately it's one of those things, right, where a team could have played, you know, a major stage, they could have played anything, and because it's a, I don't know what the right way of saying it. This would be like a great example actually is like the UK scene, right, or like less established scenes in general. Is people like to really openly hate on the less established scenes because they're not, say, like as established as, like, you know, you would see like Germany, for example, or France or Sweden. But like, just because the scenes aren't as established doesn't mean they don't necessarily A, have the talent, or B, have the players and the fans that are really just as passionate about the games and the teams as well. And that's what I think a lot of like people necessarily miss out on, is like, actually often you'll find some of the smaller scenes that are a little bit less developed have some of the most passionate and like excitable fans, and also some really quality talent. You know, like a couple of years ago, in some of the regions you think now are some of the biggest in CS, you look way back into even Source and 1.6, some of the regions people thought would be quite quiet in the game actually turned out to blow up and have some really talented players. So it's always something you got to be thinking about when it comes to CS or any esport in general, which is that you can't really write off a country just because you don't think that they are as developed as other countries when it comes to esports. It means numbers, little numbers. Okay, but would you, I guess the question is, would you call them numbers, or would you call them by 1962? Set. Let's see BLD get nice and aggressive, try and clean up these pistols. Lato, Kuto, all getting picked respectively, leaving just Maya. He'll fall as well. There we go, we are going to see things nice and tied up. Spanish-speaking casters call him numeritos because it's faster to say than 1962, which I'm assuming that means numbers. The Twitch chat's anything to go by, so we'll just call it numbers because it's easier. I'd love to say the things you guys want me to say, but like, I don't trust myself and I don't want to get fired, is basically what it comes down to. And unfortunately, I can't even Google Translate some of these words, so... You know, it's kind of risk-reward for me right now, and as much as I'd love to say some of these things, I like my job, so... I'll answer the how did you become a CS question when we're not in the middle of a buy round, because I don't want to miss that. But I do see it. I've seen it a couple times. We'll get into that in a second. But in the meantime, it's 9-9, and this is actually a pretty critical buy round, so I want to make sure that we do catch this. Of course, just to give people a bit of... I'm getting caught now with like... We're trying to look at Twitch chat and try to commentate the game at the same time. Surprisingly difficult. But anyway, let's focus on what's important for a second. It is actually a fairly critical buy round here. At 9-9, this really could turn the tides for Falkol. If they can step up here and actually secure this, it's going to be huge at just setting the pace for their CT side. Already done some good damage as well. We talked about the chip damage earlier on in the first half, and it's so paramount here. I mean, look at numbers. 27 HP, max as well, down to 12 HP. Easy pickings for those orgs, or even just a well-timed frag grenade. But only time will tell. The push will come through. You can see here the rotations from Heat & Co. coming up now on towards the A site as, well, the push is there. They've gone flying up towards bomb box. The smokes have basically hidden up the entire site, and it's become an all-out battle, all favouring the Falkol side. I talked about that HP, and it's shining through here. The fact they're so low made it very easy for them to clean up, and they continue to do so as well. Lato, Guto, all striking. Even just reverse it. One man standing. He'll fall as well. And there you have it. Falkol, they secure themselves their 10th.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Nahushin, I appreciate the kind words, buddy. I'm glad we agree that less developed regions can provide some really passionate fans and great CS. To touch on the how do you become a CS caster, Basically, you got to do a whole lot of it because it's fun, and you got to do it because you love it, and you love the game more than anything else. And providing you can do those things that you really enjoy it, and you want to do it because you love it and not for any other reasons, then you just cast demos, and you just push yourself to learn more and more about the game. Challenge yourself to work harder as well, like really push yourself to cast anything and everything you can get your hands on, whether it's your local friends playing a scrim against each other, or if you're a great example actually is if you're in let's say you're in South America, you're watching Brazilian CS, for example. There's a couple of really great leagues that you can get involved in that would take community casters. So a great example is, I'm trying to remember the exact way of saying it, but it's the Alienware Liga Pro Gamers Club. They always need people to commentate, whether it's in English, whether it's in Spanish, Portuguese, whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure they'll always work with you with the effort in, and you've shown that you'll do a good job. So I would definitely recommend just putting the passion in and putting the hard work in, and just looking for opportunities to cast anything and anything you can. But talking of looking at opportunities, it's Mayon creeping out on towards B. Delbony will trade, but it's too little too late. The site's effectively been overrun. The only thing they need to worry about is getting the bomb to the site, because they've got control, but the bomb's over in tunnels. It is sprinting on through, but will it make it up the ramp before BLD gets there and cuts it down? That is the question of this map, and well, there's your answer. 35 seconds. Bomber's got across, but a player lost his life because of it. Fragronny will now run deep to the site. Do just tickling more damage. It's just going to be a waiting game. 25 seconds. Looks like they're coming towards A, and Lato knows it. Just going to be holding and waiting for them to make this push happen. 17 seconds now. If Lato finds the right shot here, drops the bomb carrier, that's a round win. Push comes through, bomb carrier dropped, sprints on away. 8 seconds now on the clock. All he's got to do is hold the cross, and the round is his. Lovely stuff. Finds the headshot. Connects the second and third follow-up, and the CZ picks it up wonderfully for him. 11-9 takes hold, and Falkol, I said if they were able to pick up a round from 9-9, that first buy would be critical. They've done just that. Not only that, they then won the follow-up, and now they're looking for their 12th round on top of it all. A great start from them as they come back into their second half. We are not mean people. We'll not make sure you get fired. I hope you mean we'll make sure you don't get fired. That would be great. Looks like this one's going to be pretty quick and easy. The CZs have just kind of dropped the gauntlet on Falkol and said, yep, not today. Pretty much annihilating them as they just sprint on towards the B site. If I'm Falkol here, I just walk away. You want to save the AWP and the AUG. Especially don't want to give up the AWP to this T side. Just give it up and accept that the B site hold was not what it used to be. Okay, I think we're all caught up on chat now at least, so there's that.
Terrorists win.
At least I didn't lose either of the two orgs. Probably the most important thing they could have saved. Looks like we're going to see the same play this time. Instead of CZs, it's with rifles. And Aguto, you've got your back turn, buddy. The action is that way. Oh, no. This is just awkward to watch. Every player falls. We do see a nice little bit of play from Heat, but arguably too little too late. Bomb will go down. And there we have it. It's pretty much going to be a round secured. I don't imagine the CTs will play for this. I keep seeing messages banned in chat for message region identity. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean, but apologies if you keep getting banned for identity. I guess stop saying whatever it is you're trying to say. I don't know what that is. Seeing a lot of partner people in this chat tonight. A lot of people with the good old purple tick. And that's it. This time around, Isurus will head towards the A site, or at least spread out a bit in the default, which actually leads to the early duel we just witnessed. Does get traded back though by Mio, while Delbony with the close-ranged eagle ekes out a further advantage for the CT side. Has to be so careful now. Making moves, but needs to support his teammate, but man doesn't actually need it. Walks out, does it all himself. Reverses with the strafing to the left. Shooting and moving. As if it's 2006, but it works out because his opponent dies in the flyer anyway. That is going to leave just Heat here with the CZ in a 1v3. The round is basically over. Huchin, shoot me an email, buddy. You can find it in my bio at FlakesTV on Twitter, and I'll see what you got, see what you're made of. I'm just going to grab the AWP, save that for future rounds, and really going to be thinking forward now. Obviously 12-11 here. Isurus finally with a round advantage again. Arguably, I think it's fair to say Isurus should be able to close this one out with ease, to be honest. Not so sure that on paper, anyway, it should be as close as it is. And that's what concerns me. Falkol really have stepped up and brought a fight. But if there was ever a tournament to bring the fight on, it would be something like the Mitre Close qualifiers. So, totally understand why they are bringing all they've got and proving to be quite a good map of Counter-Strike on Overpass, at least. But also, when you look at the veto, it gets a little concerning. I think Mirage, it's a map where Isurus really are quite drilled. I believe, from memory, Mirage is Isurus' most played map. It's not necessarily the highest win rate. I think it's, like 3rd or 4th, because it's Overpass is their highest win rate, but 3rd or 4th most played map in terms of kind of how it pans out. But by far, Isurus' kind of most comfortable map to play is like a Mirage Dust 2. And Train as well, actually. They have quite a broad map pool, but the Permabab and Inferno still seems to live up to its reputation for them. That's what's kind of surprising. It snuck through over Nuke. Saying that, I suppose you've got to get rid of Vertigo though, right? So you win some, you lose some. Push comes through though. It's going to be a quick 1-for-1. Have to be careful here as Guto is actually in a good spot. Unfortunately, man, he's having a field day. Left, right, good night. Taps him down. Just like the anti-Joshua fight all over again. Falkol just getting dropped to the ground. Fortunately, it's just Lato now and his teammate. It's another scenario where they have to rotate away. This will build up a serious 13th round here and get them one step closer to their first map point. The issue here for Falkol now is that they're running out of money to play with. for those of you that are discussing stats, good bit of context and advice I'd always say to follow. Try and look at team stats in a 3-month, like a quarterly point of view. All-time stats aren't the most reliable thing in the world. They can be useful, but I think for a general rule of thumb, within the last 3 months helps you get a bit of an up-to-date picture on what is going on with a team. Of course, these Eagles not exactly going to be able to achieve too much here. Going to hold nice and close, but the trading story comes back cold once again. Albany, a nice little surprise, but the result still is going to be the same. I believe, now, this is going to be some real, as we would call it in the UK, Year 9 Spanish coming through here. But is it Haciendo Nafraga? Is that getting wrecked in Spanish? It might not be, or the pronunciation might be hilariously wrong. I did Spanish for 2 weeks at school. But I believe that's I think that's getting wrecked. If not, I apologise in advance for whatever I may have just said. But with that said, it accurately sums up the match so far, especially the last sort of 5 or 6 rounds. Isurus really have stepped up. Oh, so they're close now to closing this one out. 14-11 is the scoreline. They're up against a full buy once more. Falkol certainly feeling the pressure here. They will get a free pick towards long, which definitely will benefit them in the early days of the round, but will they give it up again towards A? That's the question. You've already got Reversive getting aggressive. The flashes will go over though, so at least that will help them out as Lato looks a spot to see who's up close and personal. But I don't think they realise he's that far up, and that's the problem. Not only does he get one, but then he's able to spot out the position of that AWP, molly that off, and smoke off dumpster. The A site is effectively taken now. There's nothing Falkol can do to deny it. A quick flash in towards Bank is going to deny that from any pressure at all. And when you've got numbers spotting Connector as well, it sets up a really great position for Isurus here. They push right into a smoke, which makes it even better. It's another free kill. 4 on 3 now. The boost also being denied as Mayon pepper shots through the railing. I think this is a save again for Falkol, to be honest. Okay, so my attempt at saying "get wrecked" in 2 words is actually just 1 word, which is good to know. I like how Twitch chat have given me 5 different ways of saying the same thing. I guarantee at least 4 of those actually say something completely different than what you think they say. A typical Argentinian catchphrase. Oh, what could possibly go wrong with that? Whenever anyone says something that's a typical catchphrase, you just know it's going to be an issue. But I think deletado sounds pretty like getting wrecked, so I think I'm okay. I think that's a safe word to say. Oh, Reversive, you are just schooling them, aren't you? Double kill for him. Maxu another as well. Pick after pick, it's going their way. Isurus, the last 7 rounds they've had on lock. Falkol just haven't looked at it at all. Nice and clean. 16-11. They really were just so flawless in those last 7 rounds. We saw a great start in the pistol, especially in the second half, but there was just no consistency to it. Map 1 locked up nice and easily. Map 2 is what we are going to be looking for. Seems like the bot is wrong. That's actually not me. Fun fact. I'll put my Twitter handle in the chat for you so you can find me. But that's not me and the bot. The bot is wrong, which is unfortunate, but it's the case. If you'd like to find that out, you can see there. When you sign the contract, or is there an item that says you have to deal with Argentinians and